What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 23 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded King Louen campaign. So as we saw last time, a bunch of glorious battles culminating in the most glorious and actual challenge for Louen's army. 3 vampire counts, full stacks, but belonging to Sylvania were all, well, not quite brought down, as some of them survived due to the dead rise, but were at the very least defeated by Louen. I'm expecting another at least few more of those caliber of battles from Sylvania, as the balance of power of their faction at current time compared to ours is nearly half and half, which means they clearly have more armies that we can't see, and I'm excited to meet them in battle. Once again, we did reach the likes and comments threshold of 200 likes and 30 comments, so this will once again be an hour-long episode. And the offer once again does still stand, and we'll go for another hour episode next time if we get the 200 likes and 30 comments. Now, in terms of what we'll do to start off, can we reach Scarbrand? No. I think it might be time to actually do the Chalice of Potions battle, because the reward for it, or at least one of the rewards for it, is that the item gives us a hero recruit rank of +5 for damsels, and we may want to start off with getting a few more tech thieves, because, well, our only tech thief is now wounded for 6 turns, which is annoying, and it might be better to have like 3 on the field at once. Gotta get that additional research, or else we'll end the campaign without completing it. Anyway, that'll be for the Fey Enchantress. Let's do a few moves first. Maybe not Louen, because he's also probably gonna fight. Avilm, you do... well, I actually would like you to recruit some stuff, but I'm not sure that we have enough money for it, so we'll wait. That's you. Adelard, you have moved already. Raponce. Yeah, okay, I was just looking at you. You know what? Go into channeling stance and go very close to Scarbrand. You can't attack him, but that's fine. I would actually love to see whether he has another army nearby, but you know, somehow I doubt he'll attack. Oh, actually, we shouldn't be here at all, because... yeah, let's move out here. The thing is, if he were to attack us, he'd draw in Zandri, and he's definitely not going to be willing to do that. I think this army could take him, but who knows. Fey Enchantress, you're probably going to fight right now, and then this army, Marie le Chasseur, is going to follow Raponce. So, Marie, you can stay in your current stance, or should we just put you beside Raponce and just cross the river? Yeah, you know what? Cross the river. Next turn, I guess. Alright, so you go here beside Zandri. And then I guess Yasmina, we can keep you here as well beside Raponce, and she's the most likely to get battle soon. Yasmina, you can similarly go into channeling stance because, wait, what level is Marie? Oh, she's also at level 8. Then what level is Deline? She's at level 10. Is any one of you magnanimous, though? We haven't... okay, you're magnanimous, and what about you? And you're melancholic, which actually is not that great, but since she's level 8, I'm disinclined to get rid of her. We can put her into a less money-making province, unlike the magnanimous ones. Anyway, let's move everybody else, and then we'll send the Fey Enchantress to fight her quest battle. And Baron Thegan, you are going through Bilbali in order to transfer all of these units. Just wondering what would be faster. I still think going by land is probably going to be a little bit faster. We'll get around this, even though full speed stance is slightly better than march stance. Alright, Fey Enchantress, you're about to fight, so we'll ignore you. Deline, you're going to follow the Fey Enchantress wherever she goes. Alberic, you are supposed to move towards Specto Zuma, and you have full mana, so move towards Specto Zuma. Therese, you're supposed to do the same, so we'll just quickly do this. Grab this mysterious island in march stance, like so, and then come on back around. Dieterthorpe. Alright, free stuff, shiny boots and fresh recruits, and favorable winds, which ain't great, but at least it's a little bit more cash. I don't want to build buildings until we figure out exactly how much cash we have this particular turn. Huh. Did it just go down from 15k to... from 16 something to 15? I guess because we moved everybody out rather than staying in settlements. Garrisoning is, after all, a reduction in the upkeep costs, but whatever. Alright, anybody else before we fight? No, it looks like we're good, so let's level up the Fey Enchantress's army, and let's get into it. How do we want to... Okay, you know what, let's start with the Fey Enchantress herself. She is going towards Greater Arcane Conduit, so let's get her that. And then her 2 Paladins. You have My Vow, we may as well max out Holy Light since you're buffing your peasants. And we could proceed to Deadly Onslaught, or just maximize your aura. I mean, I'm honestly not sure the Commander's Discipline is actually worth it. The aura is big enough to generally cover the pile of infantry these guys use anyway, so I might just not put any points in it. 30% is fairly big, regardless of the aura. And Banish the Damned is fine, but it's not something we need right now. Yeah, so let's go for Blade Shield and start moving towards Deadly Onslaught. And then you are kind of doing the same, but I think rather than going for My Vow, since you're going to be the assassin, you're going to go for Blinding Majesty instead. And I guess Egocentric. Oh, you have the negative aura, but yeah. Self-centered, I think, was the better one compared to Egocentric, and yeah, let's go for Self-centered. And then into Blinding Majesty. Alright, and that looks good to me. We can't be in a stance or we won't be able to teleport, and it's time for the battle for the Chalice of Potions. And of course we'll give this a read. Dark and prophetic visions that have long plagued the Fey Enchantress have at last come to pass. Dark clouds gather off the northern coast of Bretonnia, as a mighty fleet of Chaos Warriors approaches with numbers beyond counting, like a great cloak reaching across the ocean. Panic grips the people, but the Enchantress remains calm. Upon the shore, she grasps the Chalice of Potions, and channels its power in the name of the Lady, conjuring a vicious storm to send the coming assailants to a watery demise. When it is done, most of the fleet is consigned to oblivion. Yet despite it all, a sizable force survives, continuing its approach to Bretonnia and intent on seeing the land burn. Causing a storm at sea via the Lady's power, Manan is not going to be happy about that sort of thing. And forget about Stromfells. But anyway, enemy details, what are we facing off against? A bunch of basic marauders, but judging by the fact that this isn't way in our favor, there must be reinforcements expected. Which I guess we'll see. Teleport away. And yes. I'm very much sure that there has to be reinforcements. It can't be just this. And it's her last quest item, so it should be a tougher battle. And close victory? Just against this, I sincerely doubt it. Anyway, let's see what we got. Although the Fey Enchantress did much and more with her potions, summoning a spell of unmatched power, the Fiends of Chaos still managed to land on Bretonnian shores, though in numbers much diminished. Their force still poses great danger, however, if it is not defeated here. The effects of the potion yet linger upon the beleaguered enemy, however, which gives the Bretonnians an edge. The Fey Enchantress has spent much of her strength on the storm that destroyed the fleet, yet the winds of... Ah, damn it.
It is a great deed we must do today. The twisted things of chaos have come to our shores in vast numbers. Many were dashed upon the rocks, yet enough remain to pose a terrible threat. Malice seeps from their every pore and breath. They are the very essence of doom. Should they win this day, Bretonnia will be naught but ruins. But hope endures. Take solace in the Lady's shining grace for victory!
Alrighty, here we go. Feels like it's been a while since we've done a quest battle, hasn't it? And... something awfully familiar about this map. Very familiar. Curious. I think I know this map, and it's rare for me to remember quest battles, but I'm pretty sure enemies will attack us from the sides here, regardless of what it said about reinforcements. But anyway, here we go. This is also going to be the debut battle for our Grail Knights, who look very similar to the Knights of the Realm, minus the glowing lances that they've got. Still all that glorious multicolored barding that they have over the entire unit. And we'll see how effective they are here. They do have Grail regeneration and lots of buffs on them, so I don't imagine the enemy is going to have an easy time at really dealing any kind of damage to them. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off with our trebuchets, still regular and not blessed as we'd like in the Fey Enchantress's army, and they're going to see if they can't hit the enemy infantry, or soften up the enemy infantry before they charge us. Speaking of charging us, it looks like that was sufficient for them to get annoyed, and whether it was the artillery or whether it was the Fey Enchantress casting Awakening of the Wood probably doesn't matter. Alright. So bizarre that they only have one unit of Chaos Trolls, but hey, at least they're armored. And it probably depends more on which units come in as reinforcements. And speaking of reinforcements, here they are, almost right behind us and spawning quite close to us as well. Though fortunately our Knights Errant and our Grail Knights are all back here, and because of the spawns of the Defenders of the Realm, together with the peasant mobs, we should be able to hold off both fronts simultaneously. I'm just gonna have to be careful and make sure that the enemy isn't allowed to hit our trebuchets, which they spawn very close to. Alright, here come our various battle pilgrims, going to throw themselves into combat as fast as they can, hopefully distract this enemy force, and allow our various knights to do work as well. Alright, Grail Knights charging on through, directly through that enemy formation, and charging right back into it to hit him in the back. Very nice, and then here come the Knights Errant to help out as well. And though, of course, we'll have to keep an eye on the latter, as they are quite fragile, and even Norskins, as in basic Norskin units, should be able to dish out damage to them. Melee damage reflection, I'm sure, will come in fairly handy here, and it looks like the second enemy force is very much tied up with all of these units. In fact, we basically sent all of our elites there, which means the tougher portion of the battle will actually be in the front, where our main line is taking the brunt of the enemy hits. We'll also hit a bunch of our own peasants with those trebuchets, and until we get to the blessed trebuchets, we're gonna take damage from our own units, and just like that. Alright, I believe we use a Dwellers Below here. Can't quite see the animation, but you can see the after effect as the Dwellers Below absolutely wreck a couple of the enemy units. I think it was 2 or 3 enemy units being held off by the Defenders of the Realm. Granted, the Defenders of the Realm got destroyed as well, but it was certainly a worthwhile trade. Very nice. Looks like the enemy lord, together with his retinue of armored trolls, have moved in to try to fight the Fey Enchantress and her paladin, but it doesn't look like either one will be effective, and we do have the piles of peasants to throw themselves on the enemy to back the lord and hero up. Enemy continues to fail to make their way through the tarp-hitting peasant hordes or the summoned Defenders of the Realm, but it looks like they've got more units to enter the fray where that came from. A second set of enemy reinforcements has arrived while we're still busy with the first, okay, this I guess a third, while we're still busy with the first and second. So we're going to have to split our forces yet again, unless the enemy hit our trebuchets, who have reacted to the enemy, but we gotta charge those Hounds of Pestilence before they hit our poor trebs. Alright, there we go. And the Knights of... oh, that was very close. Looks like they were able to stop the Grail Knights were able to stop the Hounds just in time. The Green Knight gets summoned as well and is going to make his way through through the piles of marauders to go after the enemy lord, while our knights start in on the marauders as well as the hounds. Although the hounds look like they're broken and are going to book it on out of there. Main portion of the battle is also still happening. Obviously, the peasants aren't going to do as much damage as the battle pilgrims or the knights are, so it's going to take longer to clear this portion of the battlefield. Alright, but it looks like the second army is pretty much done for. We've left the knights errant to chase the enemies off and have thrown our battle pilgrims into the fray to join the Grail Knights. Considering the battle pilgrims are Grail worshippers, it makes sense to have them join the Grail Knights as well. Although the Grail Knights would never deign to give the battle pilgrims direct orders, as that is beneath them. And what's not beneath them, however, is the Norskins, as they're literally sending them flying above them. And with all that punting. Not for much longer, however, as the balance of power shifts to about 90% in our favor. The Green Knight has taken the enemy lord down to about half HP. And it looks like just a few more hits will see the battle ours. Alright, and it looks like our peasant hordes at the very least got to fight for pretty much the entire battle. I guess that's a nice thing of keeping them out front, not only to take the enemy's charge, but to allow them to actually get time in combat. 73 kills on the 74 on the Unwashed Masses. Not bad, and nearly 13k damage, well, 12.5. I think that's pretty darn respectable for a pile of garbage peasants. Granted, with the buffs that they have here, 46 and 28, not too horrible. Mainly used for tar pitting, but with that 23.4k HP, that's hardly surprising. Anyway, there we go, a close victory, probably by virtue of the losses that our peasant hordes suffered, but otherwise our elites suffered very little damage and were able to hold off the reinforcements from both sides. Pretty fun battle. I do like the fact that we had to actually react to the foe to some degree, split our forces and think about how we reacted to each of the individual reinforcements, which did spawn so close, but that could have been very dangerous if we weren't prepared for it. Luckily, I did remember this particular map. Alrighty, very nice, and no problem there, but am I crazy, or does the Empire have the same exact quest? Or maybe not exact, but extremely similar. I swear that one of the Imperial quests uses the same map and has a very similar sort of quest progression, where multiple armies attack from different sides on that map. And the same thing with Norskins landing and having to see them off, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I guess it does kind of make sense, considering Bretonians are also just as likely as the Empire to get Norskins showing up on their shores, but nonetheless, I do think it is the same map. Anyway, no problem in terms of damage. We can get a little bit of money or heal a little bit, and I think we'll take the money because, once again, it seems like the negative money trait is irrelevant. And there we go, the Chalice of Potions is ours, which gives us the ability to use a bombardment ability a couple of times a battle, massive amount of increased casualty replenishment rate, which will help because we're constantly taking damage on these little peasant units, and a little bit of bonus control and enemy hero reduction, which doesn't matter nearly as much. You, Fey Enchantress, are once again going to go into channeling stance, and you're going to go into the friendly territory for this one turn. Although I suppose, wait, perhaps we should send you up north to start fighting ogres. You know what, stay here for now. I want to see how Scarbrand reacts, because if he goes around to sea, maybe we'll send the Fey Enchantress to hunt him at sea, while Rapunzel hunts him via land. Can't have this army running around after all and potentially damaging us. Alrighty, and you can get out. You can. Thank you. Alrighty, and I believe we're good here. Let's see what else we can do other than Louen, though I think there may not be much, if anything. Adelard, okay, it's just Louen. Alright, so, let's do Diplo. Non-aggression with the western provinces is rising higher, but they'll be dead soon, so that hardly matters. I mean... Oh, everybody's at war with the exiles in the Hex, so it's probably pointless to do that. I mean, we could try this just for the money, but... 1,000 gold and pissing off a bunch of factions that are fighting with them just for that. Probably not in the cards.
None shall question me.
And we could do military alliance straight up with Kislev. I wonder how much money they'd be willing to offer us for this. 5.4k. That's not too bad, I would say. They're not currently at war with Azag the Slaughterer, so the concern here is that they'll probably get into a war with Draika, which is somewhat likely to happen. On the other hand, it's only Draika, and... Okay, I want to see this. How likely is Draika to fight the Empire? Because if it's probably going to happen anyway, then we don't care as much. Oh, they actually... Okay, wait. Draika doesn't like the Empire doesn't really care about the... whole Draika thing. You know what? I think we'll wait on that. It would be nice to be able to keep Draika alive. If nothing else, just to get the better color scheme on the Treemen, which is quite nice. Louen, you're going to attack in a second, but let's do some building. Estalia, you are at the top of the list now, and we'll start with you, and hopefully can get you additional money. We have growth here, the landed estate here, and we'll get the weaving house as well. Even more cash. Beautiful. Next up, Marches of Couronne. We will upgrade Couronne eventually. Just now is not that time. Lucchini and Refrafa, you're similar in the sense that we are trying to make as much money as possible out of this territory. So once again, we're going to get a weaving house for you, and I think I'm going to hold off on the various City Watch buildings. The Bretonnian towns are already small settlements. Yeah, because we're going to delete both of these once this area is safe, so I think there's no need to waste money on upgrading them at the current time. So we'll leave them there. Lianez, you're also expensive and unnecessarily so, but we can upgrade the farm at the Adelan Mountains. Bordelot, 6.4k just for a little bit of extra wine. A little bit on the expensive side. Artois, you're also ready for tier 5. Plenty of tier 5s available, but yeah, that's all our money just to upgrade 3 of them. I'd really love to get materials at sea and maybe even the tech that reduces the cost of that before doing so. Massif Forkel, you can still have the coaching in, however, and we'll keep building the stables for capacity. We could build one of these things. We could also build, for example, the windmill, just for a slight adjacency bonus. That's only growth, though. That one I think might not be as relevant. Especially if we don't bother building anything else here. And, oh, why are you plus 30? Oh, you're plus 35 because of the casualty replenishment bonus. Yeah, or casualty replenishment bonus because of the quest bonus, rather. Yeah, that's fine. I think in this particular location we're going to build one of these, and if... defenses or attack? I'm going to go with attack, I think. No particular reason. It's actually because the knights have higher defense than they do attack, generally speaking, because they're more reliant on charging than they are on a regular attack. Bloodhall, you're up. We're going to upgrade the port here. I'm not 100% sure we're going to keep the place still, but there's a decent likelihood that we fight Yuan Bo, in which case, yes. And then continue getting the growth via the fields. Alright, and we do still have a decent amount of cash remaining, which means if we want to spend it, we're going to upgrade Couronne. I think we'll wait on upgrading the rest of the big old territories, but Couronne can be done now. And I think that's enough money to afford the Bordelot Vineyard or the Bordelot Wine Market. Alright, and I think that's good enough. Now, Avril Mercier, we wanted to build a few more things with you. At the very least, 3 more field trebs, blessed field trebs. And we could do a Grail Relique. Just thinking about what's the best way to do this. Yeah, alright, I guess we could build 1 Grail Relique for you. It is a peasant unit, and this is going to be our outlaw army. I'm tempted to get a couple of battle pilgrims in here. And the reason for that is A, they're shielded, and B, they have the They have the unbreakable trait. On the other hand, they lack armor piercing. Maybe it's still better to just go straight up foot squires. Neither one will hold off against charges, though. You know what, let's go 6 foot squires, and then this will give us 8 units. We can get 2 more trebs, or maybe 3 more trebs, and then 9 or 10 units of outlaws. And then that'll be the army. No cav and nothing. Oh, well, it'll have a problem chasing things down, but I don't want to waste points on mounted yeomen. We might actually put some demi-griff knights, maybe, or warbear riders in this army to be able to chase. I think that'll be the way. Next up, we will want to try to get some global recruitment. But I think for now, maybe we'll skip it. Just to save up the money. We do have all those tier 5s to upgrade as well, after all. Alright, Louen, now's your time, my friend. But what do we have remaining here? Oh. These guys are at essentially full HP again, huh? You're in march stance, so you will die. You're hiding in Castle Templehof. Alright, fine. Let's attack Lutz real quick. You're gonna go into the Crusade stance, and I'm not gonna bother leveling you. We're gonna manually fight this super quick, because I don't trust taking damage here. And just really, really quickly, I'm just gonna max speed it, because we'll otherwise take unnecessary auto-resolve damage, and we don't know how many other Vampire Count's armies are nearby. We just can't risk it. We can't risk that it's a bunch of them, and they'll all attack us next turn, and then obviously the auto-resolve likes to screw ya. Alright, knights, I'm not even gonna bother forming you up, just I'll wait back here. I'm not even sure that the enemy will move towards us. Flyers, you go here, you can be group 2, you can be group 3, you can be group 4. There we go, start deployment, start battle, go. All of you go kill that Terrorgeist. And, I guess you guys can move up, and there we go. Terrorgeist first, Vargeist second, and... that's the wrong thing. Alright, normal speed, then we will activate the debuffs and the buffs. Where do we have the Helm of Discord? There we go. Alright, well, I guess we can watch this little fight here. Shouldn't be a problem. We have a massive amount of air superiority here, even without the Pegasus Knights. Actually, speaking of the Pegasus Knights, you can help out with this if you like. Come here. Go after those Vargeists while we try to bring down that Terrorgeist, which is already lower than half HP. All the Paladins are just having a little bit of a contest to see who can knock it down first. And I do notice that a decent amount of the Vargeists have died as well, and... wait, oh, did the Terrorgeist already drop? Yeah, it did, I didn't even notice. Alright, looks like we don't even need you. Alright, and Vargeist will be down. I'm just gonna speed this up again. Alright, go kill that Necro. And that should be just as quick. Oh. Oh my lord, the charge just basically insta-killed it. That was amazing. Let's pop the stand your ground buff, and then let's go sort of Couronne, and then while these guys are there, it's time for you all to form up in Lance, and go and hit all this. I guess you guys can move on in there as well. You can go, I guess, Shield of Thorns? Well, I guess we could wait until the Knights. Nah, don't even bother. Shield of Thorns, the Paladins. And go for Forbidden Rod. You know what? We could just... nah, yeah, we'll just wait. Oh! No. The Hex Wraiths are still alive. That's not great. They're actually going to be able to hurt us, take the charge from them, their damsel. And then we will do this. There we go. Can't have the Hex Wraiths dish out damage with all that... physical resistance that they have. The Knights won't have an easy time dealing with them. I should really put the Lichbone Pedant in this army, so one of the Knights can be specialized specifically for this. Anyway, you can heal up the Paladins there, and I believe the battle should be nearly over. Just gotta kill off that Vargulf before he kills off any Knights. How are those? Okay, yeah, the Hex Wraiths are done, and everybody just move on in. I think we're good. You know what? I'm just gonna speed this up to max. You can... I was about to say you can heal somebody again, but it looks like it's not gonna matter. And there we go. Alright, nobody better have died. One? Oh, who? Who managed that? I can't quite tell. And looks like one of the Black Knights got a kill. 401 damage. How'd you manage that? It doesn't seem enough to kill off a model of one of these guys if you only dealt 401 damage, but I guess something else dealt the damage and you just got the killing blow. Alrighty, that's dead, another 2.7k, very nice, very nice. More money for our expensive upgrades, Vagabond, yeah, sure. And now, Louen, I would like you to hit this. Do we have to do that again? I could risk auto, you know what, I'm gonna... You know, here's what I'll do. I'm going to apply the points that I'm going to risk auto-resolving, and then just going to hope that a billion armies don't attack us next turn. But if it happens, it happens. Deadly Onslaught is what we were trying to get towards, and I think that has not changed. So Deadly Blade, and then on to Deadly Onslaught for Louen. Paladins, you're up next. And we have... You're missing Deadly Blade. You know what? It's when defending, so it's got Esteemed Combatant maxed out. And while I don't particularly care for Retinue Trainer, if enough of your heroes have it, it'll still be somewhat useful. Esteemed Combatant and Esteemed Combatant, and then I imagine you are not. We are the Elite and Esteemed Combatant. Fantastic. Henri, you have My Vow now. Lovely. And you already have Esteemed Combatant, which is nice. We just got to get your Blinding Majesty. And frankly, you don't have Deadly Onslaught or Foe Seeker or True Hero of Bretonnia. Let's get True Hero of Bretonnia. Make all of the heroes in this army cheaper, considering there's quite a bit of them, and I'm sure they cost us quite a bit of cash. You... Regrowth Dwellers Below. Actually, this army is actually fairly unlikely to use Dwellers Below, but nonetheless. And I forget, does Overcast of Flesh of Stone and SFO... No, it's still only one unit, meaning it's not going to be all that useful to us. Honestly, not a lot of this is going to be all that useful. Let's just go for Regrowth and still the Dwellers Below. I guess we could get the attrition reduction, but for now it's not going to be all that helpful either. Alright, lovely. Auto-resolve this, mostly because I think it's going to be a waste of time similar to that other one. And yeah, so much more damage than I would have liked. What can you do? Sack the place for more cash. Free Potion of Speed, which we can hopefully turn into something else, and then heal up at Fort Oberstyre. Alright, and... I'm just gonna assume that all of these guys aren't going to attack us, but who knows. Hey, and we leveled up again. Alright, Louen, you can have Deadly Onslaught, but we'll do the rest of the level ups after, because there was nothing critical, I think, other than your other point in Esteemed Combatant. And I guess you can have Hero of Bretonnia. There we go. And yeah, alright, we're up at 15k per turn. Not bad, not bad. I'm sure it'll go away soon. And hey, the Green Knight will be back next turn as well. Does he... He's gonna spawn at Couronne again, isn't he? Yeah. There's a little bit of annoyance to that, because it's kind of hard to use him when he's constantly spawning so far away. I feel like he should spawn, like you should be able to choose where to spawn him, but I guess that's not going to, that's not gonna happen. Anyway, we do have a little bit more cash, but I think the only big upgrades we have are the main settlement upgrades, and I'm disinclined to waste money on them right now. And that includes the Pegasus Eyrie. Did we start recruiting with you? We did. I mean, I guess we could do the global recruitment in the south of the Blessed Field Trebs, but they are quite expensive, and that's with the reductions. You know what we could do? Wait, just out of curiosity. I wonder if they stack, actually. The recruitment cost reduction for Trebs. You know what? Let's find out. I'll recruit Lord Prophetess. I don't like those. Phlegmatic. Yeah, we'll go with that. Right here. And with the 60%, how much to global recruitment Trebs? That's not bad. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna take you 8 turns. Can we increase global recruitment capacity? No, this is only local. Okay, well, you're gonna take an absolute age to get those on the field, but Alberic does need them. I think Alberic only actually needs 3, but you know what? We can replace this Foot Squire and just use the Foot Knights instead. We can have 4 Alberic. Enjoy your Blessed Field Trebs. At least this way they won't hurt your knights while they're doing their thing, which is always nice. Alright, I believe that's it. So, end turn... Good. Outpost upgrades... Not super critical right now, because there's still nothing really good that we can build for at least a little while. Too many of our friendly factions... Still have, you're gonna want a military alliance, yeah? Yeah. Not nearly as much as you were offering before. Too many of our allies still have territories that are only at tier 3 right now. I think Reichland and Aetane, or I think it was Aetane. I think both of their capitals are still at only tier 3. Which means we can't get the awesome units from the outpost system, and I'd rather save the allegiance points. Looks like King Jocht is trying to chase Scarby down, and Scarby's crossing the river. We still can't reach him, though. But it's okay, we're gonna cross the river anyway. Ally begins outpost construction. Safari, hey, tech research, 16969. Nakari must have returned, that's gotta be a sign. Student, yes. And the Green Knight will return in a second. Now that we have this, I guess we're gonna go for that farm income buff since we are using it. Or we could do this for the, no. This improved loom tech for the construction cost for province capital settlements. I think we won't build the big settlements in the other two, well, settlements until we have this. Oh, we also have the upkeep for non-knights. Yeah, but this is going to take 6 turns? No, it's going to take 3 turns. Okay, well then we'll do it now. And the rest of this, I think, can be ignored. The Ruinous Powers Decree is actually quite nice because it has no negatives. But at the same time, we're not really fighting chaos. At least not yet. Though I'm sure we will. Raponce, keep chasing Scarby, I guess. Yeah, just keep chasing Scarby. You're gonna have a really tough time crossing this this river, ain't you? Yeah. Alright, and then you two stay together. So go right here, Marie, and Yasmina, you go here as well. Get you all together. We're gonna have to cross into the Badlands sooner or later. And we also have to watch out for these guys coming in and attacking us. And oh, do we know the Order of Lore Masters now? Indeed we do, but they're surprisingly unwilling to trade. Don't really seem to care about our attack on, or our friendliness with Khemri, though, which factions usually do, so that's good. We can't defensive alliance with them, though, right now, because it'll show us Kairos, and I don't want to see Kairos. Alright, what do we have at Specto Zuma? Well, we got some defenders. Move on in.
It shall come to pass.
What do we have here? Close victory, low casualties, huh? Is this worth fighting? I'll think about it. Let's see if we have other better battles. Once again, this doesn't seem like that worth our time. I'm hoping that we got some nice battles out of the Jade Court that will be worth our time, though. You can keep recruiting. Therese, let's see, you can't, you gotta march dance over. Alright, that's fine. You can reinforce, and we may or may not have you fight. Depending. Are these guys still willing to peace? They're very much willing to peace. I wonder if that will still be the case after we take Specto Zuma from them. Which would be ideal. Louen, where can you go from here? Castle Tempelhof is still available, Schwarzhofen is available up here, but if we attack this, then Hilbrand will simply take Fort Oberstar. Not that we care about Fort Oberstar, mind you. Might actually, this might actually be a good thing. If we take this, we'll A, get a nice battle. Well, actually, this might not actually be all that nice of a battle. What about Castle Tempelhof? It's kind of in a similar state where they will have no chance against Louen either way. What about Adelard? We've sent him to try to hunt down Warg and his trolls and giants. Looks like we'll have at least one more turn. I'm gonna have to chase you down. Which is unfortunate for Adelard, who was trying to gather islands, but not to worry, I'm sure he'll return to it shortly. Alright, let's see if anybody else can do anything that is significant. Baron Thegan. Keep on moving south. I don't see any rogue armies and no islands, alas. Alright, Enchantress, I guess you're heading out to sea. You can land in the Badlands, maybe go all the way up here and land at Granty Mingle. Take that and use it as a base to start attacking the Disciples of the Maw, which we're gonna do anyway. Where are you? Oh, wait. You, Baron Thegan, are... Oh, you need to actually swap 2 of these Blessed Field Trebs to Raponce and then 2 to the Enchantress as well. I'm sure you'll find her. Faye, go up here, please. And sail up north. Follow along.
I see my path.
I doubt anything's gonna attack you at sea, either one of you.
Making my way.
Man, we really haven't seen any Skull Islands spawn nearby. We had one throughout the entire campaign. Just gonna keep an eye out. I know that Skull Island can spawn... Wait. Yeah, I know that there's one that can spawn here. I know there's one that can spawn... I think it was here or here somewhere. Just checking the spots I know that Skull Islands do spawn periodically. Well, either way. Enchantress, you've moved. Yasmina, etc. have moved. Alberic, you still are getting ready for battle. Alright, so we have to pick a battle between Louen and between Albi. I think maybe one of these we do cinematically and then we just do a quick battle for the other one. Let's compare the troops. I feel like Alberic has had less battle time than Louen has had, so maybe we'll give Alberic the cinematic one. Might be the better way to do it. Plus, we haven't had a lot of Imperial enemies either, so I think that's the way. Alrighty, Alberic. If it is your time to shine, then let's pick some stuff for you. As in some points, we could start making you a fighter. You have Glorfinio's progeny, but... Well, you know what? We can start benefiting from the high ranks on your knights. So let's get Engines of War, since you'll be using plenty of Blessed Field Trebs, and then... knocking down walls and towers in this particular battle as well. You, I still haven't decided between My Vow and Blinding Majesty for you. Actually, for both of you, and thus you can both keep going through your fighty tree. I guess technically they're all fighty trees, but you know. Deadly Onslaught for you, and Deadly Blade, I guess. I should probably get We Are the Elite for all those knights. And Damsel of Life, you're pretty critical here, and oh, you don't have a holy icon. Oh, because we don't have any spare holy icons. And Obsidian Lodestone is identical to Obsidian Amulet, so that doesn't matter. Oh, I just realized I've forgotten something. You can have Regrowth. And I guess the Dwellers Below as well for this particular battle. What I have forgotten, though, is I wanted to get another Tech Thief, or possibly two if we have the capacity for it. You, Damsel. At level 10, huh. Wait a second, we had the ability to get them up and running at level 8, but now it's at 10? Shouldn't it have increased by 5? Odd. Perhaps the presence of the Enchantress. No, I don't see anything that increases the recruitment of damsels in the same province as her. Huh. Level 10's still good, so we're still gonna summon at level 10. Damsels, fleet-footed, determined, intelligent, has hero self-defense chance, and knowledgeable has additional experience. Both are fine. You know what, none of the heroes that we've currently been using got knocked out by enemy heroes, so I guess knowledgeable is the way to go. Why not? Knowledgeable it is. Alright, and then you're gonna be new Tech Thief. And we might summon another one afterwards. Vows for you, you can pledge to, once again, that's successfully complete 5 here. Yeah, but still, pledge to knowledge this time around. And then you can go Specialist, Steel Tech, and Block Army. Who knows, we may actually be able to block Scarby's army, so he can't continue running away. Alright. Alberic, back to you, my friend, before I forget. And, ooh, you are gonna level up and we'll be able to swap out to another Lord/hero. Or Lord, yeah. Anyway, Alberic, attack please. Let's see what we can do. Alrighty, here we go. We've seen Alberic in a field battle. Let's see what he can do in a siege. Fortunately, unlike Louen, he does have his trebuchets, which means the towers won't be nearly as threatening to him. Or at the very least, maybe not threatening being the right word, but at least not as annoying, because we'll simply knock them down. I'm going to start off at attacking the enemy Empire archers. One of the most useless units in the game, probably. There we go. There we go. Very nice charge. Handgunner is a lot less useless, of course, and it's better that we kill them off. I'd rather even ignore the archers. It might even be a waste of time to actually kill them, as they're unlikely to do much. Even if this is Wolfheart's faction. I actually don't remember whether Wolfheart's buffs are only directly for his army or for his faction in general. It'd probably be better if it was for his faction. If it is not, just in order to buff the archers to usefulness. And further buff the hunters as well, which do have their niche, but generally speaking, you're better off taking crossbowmen rather than hunters as well. And just due to the additional armor and armor piercing. Alrighty, and as you can see, the enemy Arch-Lector, who is defending this particular territory, is trying to stand against Alberic and his paladins, and together with some great swords and whatnot. And none of our own units, of course, have taken any damage up here and are just enjoying themselves up on the walls. And I know I've commented this before, but there's something about the Bretonnian way of playing that does remind me of playing the Vampire Counts, like sending zombies / sending peasants. But it's also the fact that these guys have a very strong air force, and clearing walls with flying vampiric units is pretty normal, pretty common, and this has certainly given me a reminder as well. And the fact that the spell that you spam the most tends to be Earthblood, whereas with vampires you're spamming the Invocation of Nehek more than anything else, so there's certainly some similarities to be seen there. Of course, the Bretonnians do have range and artillery, which these guys don't have. It looks like Alberic got stuck for a few seconds on the enemy halberdiers, and got hit by quite a few of the enemy gunners and archers. We're going to send him back as he's down to nearly half HP. Of course, he does have regeneration, A, and B, we have access to both regrowth and Earthblood, which we're going to pop on him to hopefully get him back up to about full HP. In the meantime, those handgunners that have been annoying us so are going to feel the wrath of the two paladins, or Alberic's two paladins, I should say. We're going to very slowly make their way through them and just annoy them. Granted, they don't have much in the way of splash damage, so it will take them absolutely forever to deal with this mob of infantry, but at the very least, they're not firing. Missile infantry, I mean, firing at us in the meantime. Alberic is basically full HP now, having gotten a regrowth and an Earthblood on him, and the rest should probably heal up due to his Seed of Regeneration. I forget what it's called. He has a regeneration item. Seed of Rebirth, I think, is the name. It's in here somewhere. There it is. Enabled if leadership is higher than broken battle outcomes undecided, and in melee, and there we go, we're healing up a little bit while we work on this. And very nice. With Tempet, unlike the two paladins, we can start mincing the infantry. Don't leave a Pegasus to do a Hippogriff's job. Alright, and while Alberic is working on that, our trebuchets have knocked down all the enemy towers, all 6 of them on this side of the walls, and have in fact made a breach in the wall itself. This of course means that we're going right into the breach with all of these piles of knights, and possibly even the reinforcements, though we don't really need them here. Now the goal of the knights will be to move right through the enemy infantry, whether it be greatsword or halberdier or whatnot, and just ride through and into the enemy crossbows and handgunners. Can't have them damaging Alberic again by focusing fire. And besides, as usual, it's probably better to destroy the enemy backline rather than allow it to continue to work. Alright, doing a nice little charge into the units that were distracted by Alberic and the paladins there. And we're streaming into the city now. And now the enemy are screwed. Once the cavalry has a breach in the walls, the infantry heavy defenders are going to be able to achieve nothing. Alright, And that's what I like to see. Looks like we're taking some damage from the enemy mortars, who don't seem to give a damn about friendly fire and are instead going to hit both us and their own units. However, we can only take that for a few... We only need to take that for a few seconds as our knights stream up the hill and directly towards the enemy mortars. There we go, and the crews will fire no longer as they are overrun by Knights of the Realm. What are Knights of the Realm doing? Knights of Sidonia, 54-54 melee attack and defense are about even. And that's interesting. I'm just wondering as, oh wow, charge 157. Damn, the charge is insane on Bretonnian units. Granted, once again, charge is not something you want to stack, well, endlessly, because you do suffer diminishing returns from the bonus, but nonetheless. Seeing those numbers. Always a nice thing for some cheap and easy endorphins, I guess. Anyway, looks like some great swords have caught up to our units of Knights of the Realm, but not to worry, we've got even more knights streaming into the city. And another charge into these piles of units. There we go. And from two sides simultaneously, and it looks like the units basically just disappeared as they got crushed from this little pincer move that we got to make. And it looks like their HP got basically depleted to nothing from that double charge. I'm glad I caught that on camera. And there we go, another charge with the only unit of questing knights we have here from our reinforcing army. Of course, Alberic buffs the Knights of the Realm so much that they are the ones that we're going to have in the army essentially alone of the knight types, which does make sense, considering that Louen is the one using questing knights. Alrighty, chasing down any other enemies that still remain, but it looks like with that, the battle is pretty much over. Whatever other units remain at full HP are just going to shatter and give the battle up. Oh, looks like we'll have to kill these last 3 remaining flagellants. But they'll be dead in a couple of seconds, and the victory decisively is ours. Very nice, Alberic. Looks like you're just as strong in this sort of siege as you are on a field battle. Of course, I'm sure we'll encounter a much tougher defended siege as we attack Yuan Bo and probably attack the Thousand Maws later on, as we'll have to contend with the Blackguard of Nagarond and Executioners. Anyway. Not too bad, not too bad. 10 losses, and frankly that went about as we expected. I'm gonna occupy Specto Zuma, and another Armor of the Midsummer Sun. Man, we got a lot of these. And Hero for Alberic, a plus 10 to melee attack. Very nice. Keeping Jungle, Trough completed, and there we go. You're level 13, which means Arcane Wisdom is max and we can reset you, in fact, and then send you to do something somewhere. Which may be here, maybe there, maybe somewhere else. This place will actually probably generate very solid amounts of income shortly, so yeah. Just gotta remember to do that and then replace you with another Lord Prophetess. We could build one. Another Magnanimous. Fantastic. Honestly, we should periodically just replace these so that we can get another Magnanimous one up and running. What are you, by the way? Phlegmatic, yeah, right. Alright, fine. What do we have here, by the way? A Carpenter's Workshop and a okay, we can keep the Grail Shrine. Don't need the Tailors, at least not right now. We're gonna just collect the income for now, switch to Realm of Chivalry, and then start building the fields here, and I guess the Shrine of the Lady here. And Monument of Itzatel, we will probably need defenses at the Temple of Kara, especially if Dark Elves start attacking us, although it looks like the Cult of Pleasure is in enough trouble that they may not be all that necessary. More importantly, are able to peace out with you still? Yes, 55. And I don't necessarily want to do non-aggression with them because Itza might attack them, and I'd rather side with Itza in that case. Give us 13k, all your money essentially. I'll take it.
Yes.
And there we go, very nice. And, oh wow, he doesn't even hate us. That's hilarious, we just took all of his stuff and he doesn't hate us. I wonder if we could do the same... Okay, unlikely. I was about to say, I wonder if we could do the same thing to you and Bo. But, yeah. We need to swap you out. So, let's get a new magnanimous prophetess like so. You can apparently not get close enough to... Ah, or can we? Beautiful. Alright, okay, I meant to do all of you. Okay, why is it not working? Shift. There we go. Alright, fantastic. And then we can take away your armor and then respec you. You said character skills, yes. And worth our time. Peasant's purpose, arcane wisdom, and muster the farmhands, root marcher, justiciar, and 10th share. Fantastic. I mean, yeah, we're not gonna bother getting all of them to level 30 just for the ladies luminaries. It's too much. Too much effort. And then you can sit in one of these locations. I just haven't decided which. Lovely. Louen. I guess we should probably attack one of these things, I think. Schwarzhofen might be worth a more cinematic fight, because there's more enemies there. This one I feel like we could just speed our way through, even though it is more elite units. Maybe this is worth a cinematic fight. I'm not sure, but either way, I think we might want to save it for next episode. We are rapidly running out of time. We do have buildings to build and other stuff to do, so I think we'll do that and leave the battle for next episode. Estalia, we'll start with you. Let's get you that clothier, Tilea. Clothier as well, more money. Hopefully less problems. Talashlan, yes to the city, despite the horrific expense. Saddleland Mountains, yes to the Grail Chapel. Still gonna hold off on the Pegasus Aureliana. Same with you and Castle Artois with regards to your main settlement upgrades. Let's get the brothel and the landed estate up and running. Sorcerer's Islands, yes, in the Land of Assassins. Creeping Jungle, I just looked at you. I'll skip ya. Massive Orcal, Chapel of the Lady for you. Gisaro Gap continuing to ignore you. Sartosa, probably going to ignore the defenses. The Blood Hall, yes to the farm, no to the defenses. Fort Oberstar will trade you to the Empire. Krugenheim, I'd actually be curious to see how much you're worth to the Empire.
Welcome, brothers.
Krugenheim, where are you? 47. Ooh, that ain't bad. How much is Gorcel and Arnau worth again? Arnau. Ooh, really? -9, but that's still not enough. Huh. I guess I shouldn't have declared war on Festus earlier. The Deceivers, eh? -7, still not enough, and -9 is not worth 17k. Damn. Okay, what about Gorcel? Is it worth more or less? Oh, it's worth way more. Damn. Okay, fine. We can wait a little bit and then hopefully upgrade Krugenheim to tier 2 in 3 turns. Maybe then it'll be worth enough for a trade. We could also make it worth more by trading Kappelberg, but Leuen's here by himself, so I don't think that's gonna happen. Also, I don't think we checked Diplo this turn, and ooh, trade agreements are nearly back up and running. The Hunts Marshals really don't want to fight us, but you know what? We might actually do this once... 3.5k, eh? Or will that piss Sitza off too much? It's hard to say.
Every last beast.
They don't like the past treaties with the Hunts Marshals expedition. The thing is, I want a defensive alliance with Itza, but we don't have that. And I'd rather not piss them off more in order to, you know, not be able to get it. And what I do, however, want to see is anybody else willing to do a nice defensive alliance. Hixoatl, maybe. We're probably going to bail you out of dying. Karazakarak. Probably not worth it yet, but we could start racking up points with them at the same time. And there is a bunch of stuff that we want from them. And they still have their 6 territories, though for how long remains to be seen. Yeah, alright, fine. And we'll do Karazakarak. Hopefully Draika won't hate. Oh, Draika will hate this, won't she? Well, that's Draika's problem. It may become our problem, but frankly, I don't think it'll be that difficult to destroy her if needed. A defensive alliance with you, Sir Thorgrim. And, ooh, this gives us a vision of the rest. Oh, that was a good move. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3. Ah, I see that the army... I presume that at least 1 or 2 of these, maybe these 2, are the ones that spawned with the endgame scenario. I noticed that they haven't moved, however, which is odd. I wonder why. I'm also tempted to just really quickly do the battle for Schwarzhofen. I mean, this is kind of not worth our time. You know what? Yeah, let's do this one. I'm gonna do it manually as well, because frankly, they have no chance, but I'd love to destroy another set of enemies. And if they take back Fort Overstar, they can have it. It's not like we care. Really, it's the battles around Castle Drakenhof that we're close victory from this? Yeah, that's not gonna happen. This isn't a minor settlement, is it? No, they have no defenses. Just a regular settlement. As in a field battle, as in manual fight super quick.
Lances ready.
Alright, you know, once I got a look at the sheer number of enemies on the screen, I decided that we could do this battle cinematically as well. And look at those bats drop out of the sky. We establish air superiority pretty much immediately, as Fell Bats versus Pegasus Knights is a horrific matchup. In the meantime, Louen, Henri, and the 3 other paladins are going after the enemy lord, who is already at about half HP, a zombie dragon or not. So we'll bring him down as well as whatever retinue of bats he has, even before we get the rest of our knights into combat. And the Pegasus Knights are going to help out with this, though hopefully we don't lose any. Let's see that lord down to about 10%, and we'll be falling right about now. Right about, okay, there we go. And right into the bog. In the meantime, the rest of our army is going to be moving into position shortly. Just going to speed this up a little bit while they do, and oh, we found ourselves a necromancer down here. Looks like he's going to call for aid, however, as the enemy moves in piles of skeletons and zombies. But not to worry, we'll be able to clear them out with our knights relatively shortly as well. Let's watch these guys do a little bit of fighting. And our Pegasus Knights are just going to keep away from the from combat for a little bit, as we don't want them brawling. And ooh, would you look at that, a Strigoi Lord has arrived and moved into the fray. I don't think this was the right move for either you or this vampire hero, as I think any one of our paladins would be able to take you one-on-one. I believe this is a level 5 lord after all, so yeah, he's not gonna do much. In addition to that, this is one of those rare times where Lewin's army is going to get the chance to use its defenders of the realm, as for once, they did not just get simply left behind by the rest of the knights. Speaking of the rest of the knights, here they come cresting the hill and using the elevation to hopefully get an additional advantage. This is almost all of our knights, with the exception of our knights of the realm, which we generally use to hunt enemy large targets, but there aren't that many on the field this time around. Anyway, the Lewin's lines are going to hit the enemy first, as they usually do, and it looks like their mass will be sufficient to get the enemy Vargolf pushed a little bit further into the enemy hordes. Here come the rest of the questing knights mowing down and through the zombies and Graveguard. And there we go. I'll never get tired of watching them charge through a unit like that. Alrighty, and now the knights are stuck in. We're going to activate the Line of Bretonnia ability, as well as whatever buffs we can manage, but it's just straight up combat now. Of course, there is enough enemy units on the field this time that we may want to actually get out of here after doing some damage and then charge the enemy again. But for now, it's questing knights versus piles of zombies. And I also really like fighting in this marshy territory. It feels very appropriate for fighting the undead. Anyway, there is a Vargulf still fighting here, though it looks like not for much longer as it has dropped to about 20% or lower HP and has begun to dissipate or crumble away. And damn, a lot of zombies and skeletons went flying when the Vargulf tried to smack one of the knights there. Alrighty, and now it's time to back the rest of our knights off a little bit. Sometimes it's nice also to get these wider shots of the rest of the battle. One of the benefits of of our ability to use the Defenders of the Realm this time also is the fact that we can essentially move our knights through them, and while the Defenders of the Realm continue fighting, they will prevent these zombies and stuff from following or from getting out of the formation that they're currently in. But generally speaking, summoned units are nice to have. Looks like the Vargulf is still alive and has actually regained some of its HP. The rest of our knights are looking to head back into combat, and over on this side we have our Pegasus Knights and our various Knights of the Realm working on some isolated units together, with the Knights of the Realm charging the enemy directly from the front, and then the Pegasus Knights hitting them in the back and obliterating these units. And there we go. Looks like we're forming back up and are going to get ready to charge the enemy again shortly, while the Defenders of the Realm continue to hold. And ooh, would you look at that, Henri has found, cornered, and by the looks of it, killed the enemy Necromancer. Last of the enemy lords and heroes, I believe, on the field. And here come our knights over the hill once more. Worthy of seeing, I think. Oh, charging the ranks of the dead. It's absolutely glorious. But I do believe that charge will be sufficient, as with the enemy lords and heroes destroyed and the sheer amount of damage the enemy army has taken, and the battle will be ours shortly. How's that balance of power looking, by the way? About 90%, I think just a little bit more damage. And oh, look at these little Sylvanian crossbow units. Still alive. Technically the only enemy unit that is alive. Although, yes, the Crypt Ghouls as well, technically speaking, but in this game in particular, they melt away as if they were undead, and despite the fact that they are technically living. Alright, and the Shield of Thorns working for us just for a little bit longer as we deal with the rest of the enemy units as they crumble away. And with that, the battle is ours. Beautiful. Alright, a few more units, and then of course we'll have to chase down those poor Sylvanian crossbows, which are gonna get absolutely mobbed. Can't even see them in there, under the under the pile of knights. Fun stuff. Alrighty, well with that we can speed it up, and the game is going to lie and call it a close victory, but obviously it was not. I mean, we did lose 25, but it was mostly because of me not taking the battle seriously. 601 kills and 75,000 damage on the Louen Lions. Once again, absolutely cleaning house. And this damn unit. But of course, like fighting the Skaven, the numbers do tend to be inflated when you're fighting piles of zombies. We're gonna sack the place for another 2k. I don't remember what the negative trait for sacking is, but well, whatever it is, we probably have it. Hey, a Helm of Discord, very nice pickup though. Court Jester, we don't really care about that. And Butcher, minus 10 chivalry per turn, control minus 3, and income from sacking settlements plus 25. Alright. Huh, you know, I'm now thinking maybe I shouldn't have sacked that. Not because of the Butcher thing, but because what if we want to keep Castle Drakenhof? It does have a gold mine, and does make for a fairly nice location, and we could use it as a base of operations here. Not sure about northern Sylvania, but southern Sylvania perhaps. Anyway, that's a question for another time, I think, as it is once again time to call the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the battles, both cinematic and pseudo-cinematic, I guess. Unlike next time, we will probably hunt down Scarbrand and the Feinchantress and co, and we'll move towards the Ogres, while Alberic starts on the Jade Court, who we'll want to destroy before heading southward towards the Thousand Maws. Still plenty to do for Alberic and for our new new armies which we'll get on the field shortly, plus we soon will have access to our final units, which is the Royal Hippogriff Knights, the Royal Pegasus Knights, the Hermit Knights, the Grail Guardians, and the Lost Sun Heroes, as well as Couronne is finally upgrading to Tier 5. Anyway, stay tuned for all that. Don't forget to leave a like and comment, especially to Threshold. If you want to see the next episode be an hour long, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.